Hi, I'm Alyssa Goldberg, and this year I am studying business management and entrepreneurship in ISM 1. So I wanted to start off with what inspires me. So to go into business and in life in general. So I'm inspired by family, learning new things, networking and meeting new people, leading and working with teams, and helping others. And so my quote for this year is just kind of fun, and it encompasses everything that inspires me. And it's, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. And that's because I believe we sometimes get too stressed about looking too far ahead in the future. And sometimes we should focus on the little things, because in business, ideas can be really small. But that doesn't mean that they can't blow up into the big companies that you see today, because every company started with that simple idea, so you never know when the next great one will pop into your head. So I thought about how I wanted to start this speech for a while now, and I decided that I wanted to start this speech by talking about how I start my day. So I get out of bed in the morning because of the idea that any ordinary day can be the day that I look back on in 30 years and think, that's the day when it all began. And you might be thinking to yourself, when what began, Alyssa? And my answer to that is everything. When my future begins, when my career begins, the day that I think of an idea that will change the world. And because Bill Gates and Steve Jobs couldn't predict the future, so how do you know that I won't be the future? So I'm really passionate about conducting interviews and connecting with new people, and that highlights the networking aspect of what inspires me. I'm really inspired by successful professionals, and I really love interacting with them and learning new things. So first I'm going to share with you 5 of the interviews I've done, and then the other 2 will come into play a bit later. So my first interview was with Mr. Rex Kurzius, the founder and CEO of Asset Panda. And I was really nervous when I walked into my first interview, but right when I walked into his conference room, all of my nerves faded away. I loved his passion for creating and innovating, and he told me to be a creator, don't work for someone else's creation. And a big key thing to also think about is to be passionate and enjoy what you do, because that passion will be contagious, and it will inspire other people to work hard as well. So my next interview was with Mr. Kirk Otis, the former CEO of Trilumina, and he told me that he really turned the company Trilumina around when he was there. He turned it from going towards a very small market to a big one, the automotive industry. And he hired a lot of hard-working people. And he told me also to never wait to start and just try to build as fast as possible. And since he worked in a different state than where he lived, he told me it's important to have a good work-life balance and have your priorities straight. I was really excited to interview Mr. Doug Stamen, the owner and president of In Your Face Apparel, because I wanted to kind of shift gears from the technology industry into the apparel industry. And he told me that companies are actually very similar, and it's all about the turning value into profit rather than focusing on the product itself. And he also told me that there's a certain window of time to take advantage of opportunities, so don't wait. So my next interview was with Miss Mary Iyer, and she is the Senior Vice President of Technology and Program Management at the Bank of America. And she really emphasized to follow your heart and told me that everyone has their own special sauce or what they're good at. And she said that she really liked problem solving and finding new challenges. So this was what she wanted to do for the rest of her life. So she just found jobs that she could do that in, and then she was really passionate about them, so she was really successful. And she also told me that you should be confident in your value and ask for what you deserve. I also had the wonderful privilege of interviewing Mr. Mark Cerati, the CEO of Cinemark. And as a CEO of such a large company, he deals with a lot of operations regarding meetings with the heads of departments within the company. And he said that it's also important to go out and visit the places where you're actually providing the value. He went to visit a lot of theaters and see the concessions and how customers are reacting to those things. And he said that it's also great to plan a lot for the future and what they're doing next. So I did a lot of research on business, but today I wanted to share with you 2 articles that I found really interesting. So the first one is about future big businesses. And as I read this article, one thing was about how important the value of companies will be in the future. And it's really about how your companies will help people. And so in the math and science field, it's all about evolving and finding new ways to analyze data and advance in research and environmental preservation. And in business and companies, no matter the company, there's always going to have to be the people behind it. who's growing the company and helping it succeed. So things like management and finance and coming up with new ideas, entrepreneurship. And also in health, personal health is really important to people, including mental health, like counseling and therapy. And also people like to be happy and have pets and also preserve endangered species. And so the next thing that I wanted to talk about is Kickstarter. Everyone in business knows what Kickstarter is. It's becoming easier and easier to get new investments for your ideas. And Kickstarter is a great place to go for entrepreneurs. And even if you're not in business, you can go there to find pretty much anything from technology to art to just little toys and games. So the first one is Pebble Time, which made the top 10 list twice at $20.3 million funded by people like you, customers, in 2015, and it also made the list in 2012. And so Pebble Time is just smartwatches, and people just want to see what's next and what's new in technology. And the other two, Coolest Cooler and Bobox Jacket, they might not seem like it, but they're also great technology products as well, because they turn ordinary items into multi-purpose products that people love. So to start off my original work, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I came up with the idea through networking and meeting new people, and also how I will make an impact on business and possibly lead my own company someday with these tools that I'm using. So another interview was with Mr. John Reese, the Chief Strategy Officer and Chief Financial Officer at the National Breast Cancer Foundation. And he told me that how to be more efficient and effective overall drives him. And he also explained how people have their own set of tools, and you just have to figure out what yours are and how to use them. But what I really admired was how he took diagrams and images to express his ideas. And I thought that that was really cool and inspiring. So another great interview that I have was with Mr. Dave Pace, the CEO of Jamba Juice, who I was dying to meet, and he really just confirmed my idea. He believes in having a great company culture and seeing the value that the company provides again. He goes out to stores and talks to customers and, drinks all the new smoothies. So he ended up talking about that it's really important to tell your company's story. And since Jamba Juice franchises, it's especially important to communicate that value to franchisees so that new people will want to build their own Jamba Juices. And so I told him about my original work, and he really liked it. And he told me as I do research, I should be like a sponge and be curious and just want to learn new things. So that leads me to my original work, how to pitch your company. Only 25% of business is creating the value, and about 75% is actually executing the answers, telling the story. Business is all about making an impact on people, not only writing a company story, but sharing it with the world. If I do all of this research for my independent study, but never share what I learned, then nothing has changed. So for my original work, I will be creating a presentation with the ideal slides to effectively tell your company's story. And not only telling it, but showing it, with diagrams and charts and images to keep the audience invested in what you're trying to sell, in addition to crucial information about the company that should be provided. This is useful to every business out there because communicating impact is essential for a company, communicating to investors, franchisees, and even customers like you. Because everyone wants to know about the value of the company that it's providing, and the people involved, and where the future of the company is going. If they're going to be growing and succeeding in the future, shown by their data right now, then more people will want to invest and open new stores. So, to close my speech, I ask you to ponder the question: are you just solving problems, or are you communicating the solutions? Thank you.